Hello friends, welcome to another video on how to use formulas and functions in Google Sheet. In this video, we will understand about three functions, sum, SUMIF and SUMIFS. So sum function is very familiar. Many of you would have used it in the past. It will help us to add the values from a particular cell or from a column. For example, here the database that I have is the expense incurred by people working in iTrack solutions. So the database consists of month, date, expense category, spent by who has spent that amount, and what is the amount that they have spent. So this is the database we have. Now, if I want to sum the total expenses incurred in this database, I can use the sum function. So I can type is equal to sum, and then I can select the first cell, and then I can select the last cell. So this will give me the total amount spent from this database. Now, how SUMIF function works? So sum is very familiar. Many of you would have used. SUMIF is, again, it's going to help you sum the values in a cell or a column, but based on a criteria. So what do we mean by criteria? Let us say I wanted to sum the expenses incurred for food. So here there are different expense categories, but I wanted to add only those expenses which is incurred towards food as the expense category. So what I can do here, I can type is equal to SUMIF, and then I can open SUMIF, and I can open the bracket. So it will ask me to select the range. So what do we mean by range? So here the range is nothing but the range from which we need to identify the criteria. So here expense category is my range. So I'm selecting expense category as my range. And once I select expense category, I can put a comma. Here I need to select the criteria. So what is criteria? We wanted to understand only those expenses incurred towards food. So food will be my criteria. So I can directly select a column in which food is mentioned, or I can use inverted quotes and type food, and that will become my criteria. And then finally, I can select my sum range. So sum range is nothing but the column where you wanted to apply the sum function, provided this criteria is satisfied. So here amount will be that column. So if I close bracket, it will tell me the amount incurred towards food in this database. Now let's say I wanted to understand the amount incurred towards food, but not for the entire database, but for only March. So what I can do, now there are two conditions. One, expense category should be food, and the second one is month should be March. So what I'm going to apply now, I'm going to apply SUMIF yes. So this is multiple criteria, and here I say is equal to SUMIF yes. And in SUMIF yes, the first range will be my sum range. So previously in SUMIF, the first range was criteria range, but in SUMIF yes, the first range will be the sum range. Once I select my sum range, the next one will be my criteria range. So my first criteria is expenses incurred in the month of March. So I'm going to select the range. Now I'm going to select the condition, which is March. And the second condition will be expenses incurred in the month of March by or for the category food. So I'm going to select the expense category, and then I'm going to say comma, and I'm going to select food as my expense category. So here, if I close the bracket, it will give me the expenses incurred in the month of March for food as a category. So you can use sum to sum the given number of cells in a column. I can use SUMIF. I can again do the sum, but based on a criteria. And I can use SUMIF yes if I have more than one criteria. Friends, I hope this video is useful. See you in another video about Google Sheet formulas and functions. Thank you, friends.